So a guy in England was proposing to his girlfriend. And, now because you can't do the big proposals because of COVID, you can't get a bunch of people involved. You can't do a flash mob. You can't do the big proposal. So he was trying to do something romantic and big. So he lit 100 candles in their apartment. And can you guess what happened?
It burned down.
The entire place caught on fire and was completely destroyed. Yes, that's exactly what happened. He lit candles and put them all over the apartment.
Oh, like a movie.
Yes, so she walked in and it was just like, look at all this fire. And now we have nowhere to live.
The alarm is going off and candles are burning and the dog's on fire. And
yeah, he burned the house down. Yeah, exactly. So does she say yes? Does she say no? I mean, I feel like that's your first inclination that maybe he might be a dumbass.
Well, I think anything's a sign. If you were scheduled to get married in 2020, that's your sign right there is
Right.
COVID. You shouldn't get married. Stop it. If the house burns down while you propose, there's your sign.
Yeah.
Don't get married. Go with
Yeah.
somebody else.
Right. But, she might be a bigger dumbass than him because she said yes.
She did say yes.
Yeah.
See, that's why people get divorced, because you don't look at the signs.
Yeah, that's a big sign. It's not like he thought your best friend was cute. And you're like, that's weird. No, he burned down your house. You no longer have a place to live.
I'm the guy, if I'm getting married and I get a flat tire to the church, that's it. Can't get married.
That's it. Yeah.
Call it off. If my mom trips and falls as she's going to her seat, that's it.
Runaway groom.
Yeah, we can't get married. So I look for anything. That's a big thing.
You're looking for a reason to not get married. But I think there's big signs, there's big red flags early on. Like when I look back at failed relationships, we can all look back at failed relationships. You probably saw in the first month the thing that ended up breaking you up. Like you saw a little early inclination of it.
So let's think back to your wedding day. Was there anything that stood out that was not good?
Yes. My husband, who did not drink very much at the time, he wasn't a big drinker. Like once in a while he'd go out and have a beer or two, but wasn't really a big drinker. He got sauced. I mean, he was so wasted. He was throwing up at the end of the night. He passed out. He had to have 2 groomsmen carry him into our suite, for the night.
Did you consummate the marriage?
Well, we were smart. We were told by people that you should have sex before, because afterwards you're going to be too tired, too fat, too full, too drunk, too whatever.
Have
you're
sex
not gonna,
before what?
Before the wedding.
No, you can't see you before the wedding.
Nah, we're not like that.
Okay,
No,
so there's 2 strikes right there. He saw you before.
We had sex the morning of the wedding. We had sex the morning of the wedding.
He can't see you that day.
Then he went to his groom room and I went to the bride room and I hung out with all my bridesmaids and got dressed and all that stuff. He didn't see me before the wedding. When we got to the actual place where we got married, he went to a room with his friends. I went to a room with my friends. He got dressed. I got dressed. And then the first time I saw him was when he was standing at the end of the aisle.
That's the second time you saw him. The first time you saw him is when you had sex that morning.
First thing in the morning, yeah.
Yeah, you should, that night, you should say goodbye, and you don't see each other again until the wedding.
Right, and then I think the bigger tell is not that we saw each other the morning of the wedding. The bigger tell is that he got, the drunkest I've ever known him to be. I've known him for a lot of years. This is a guy I've known for so we were together for 8 years, and to this day, he's one of my best friends. So I've known him for at least 18 years. I have never seen him as drunk as he was the night of our wedding.
Yeah, I've hung out with Sean Lee at bars before, and I've only seen him drink maybe 2 beers.
Yeah, he'll nurse a beer, and then, you'll give him a second one, and maybe he'll finish it or not. Like, not really. But no, he was, I should have known. That was the tell.
Well, I can understand, though, because you are a nightmare, period. Yeah. And I can imagine how much of a nightmare you are on your wedding day.
Our wedding photo is me dragging him down the aisle, holding up the flowers like it's some trophy. Like I just, look what I won. I got this thing I'm dragging behind me, and I got these flowers. I'm in my wedding dress. Like I've conquered this. I've conquered marriage.
Right.
Yeah,
and you saw him that morning, that's the reason why you are no longer married.
that is true.